Okay, I'm just quickly revising the things again. Intelligence in the Indian tradition, when we talk about how we're going to start the answer, we'll first describe what is integral intelligence, right? Then we'll come upon the term buddhi, the Sanskrit word given by J.P. Das. Now you have to give a good introduction about what buddhi includes all the things, right? I was explaining that it also gives you, your self concept based upon your conscience, will and desire. That is also very important. That is a very different part of this term, because it helps you in gaining your self concept based upon your conscience. Conscience matlab your inner voice, your inner soul, right? Another important thing, unlike the Western views, which primarily focus on cognitive parameters, the following competencies are identified as facets of intelligence in the Indian tradition. Very important thing, these 4 competencies. All can see, the first one is cognitive capacity, second one is social competence, third one is emotional competence, and fourth one is entrepreneurial competence. ठीक है, 4 तरह की competencies are given. You have to explain them. You can also write the things, the brief terms in bracket as it is given. So a separate question could be there of 2 marks or 3 marks, that what are the competencies which are included in the Indian tradition, right? Or a separate note could come for full 4 marks also, that how do you define intelligence from the point of view of Indian tradition. ठीक है, ये वाला, this is quite important, so just mark it important. Okay, now next is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, quickly just summarize the things, that it is a set of skills that underlie accurate appraisal, expression and regulation of emotions. Whenever we are talking about EI, we are mainly focusing the feeling side of intelligence or the emotion that we feel. So it is the emotional side of the intelligence. Now, what are the name of the psychologists who has given the EQ or EI? Lowe and Mayer. Underline. Now, how you define emotional intelligence? It is the ability to monitor one's own and others' emotions, to discriminate among them, and to use the information to guide one's thinking and actions. Right? See, box 1.2 is also given. There are certain characteristics of emotionally intelligent persons. Okay. So you can give these characteristics also under this if a note comes on emotional intelligence, right? If 4-mark question is there, do not think twice. You have to write the characteristics of emotionally intelligent persons. And a separate 2-mark question could also come. So still what you have to write, only the characteristic. But always start your answer with the definition of EI, emotional intelligence. Okay, nothing to explain much. It is very simple. Just go through the things again. Now, what is important under emotional intelligence? All can see the last paragraph of this topic, page number 17, same page number, right? Just start reading. I'm reading it for you. Just read in your mind. Emotional intelligence is receiving increasing attention of educators for dealing with students who are affected by stresses and challenges of the outside world. See, this is a very probable question could be asked, that how this emotional intelligence is important from the view of educators or from the point of view of students. So, or it could be in the form of that, what is the use of emotional intelligence from the context or from the point of view of educationalists. Then you have to write this full paragraph, that how can we use emotional intelligence in making the students more capable of dealing the challenges of their life and dealing with the stresses. They encourage cooperative behavior and reduce their antisocial activities. These programs are very useful in preparing students to face the challenges of life outside the classroom. You all are getting a very good academic guidance in your classes, right, by following a very particular specific syllabus. But what about the challenges? What about the different kind of stresses that you're going to face afterwards also and during your school years also? So this thing, this emotional intelligence, take all those things into consideration and guide properly the students how to deal with these challenges. Okay. So last paragraph is quite important. Just mark it also. Now let us start special abilities. The first one is aptitude. When we talk about special abilities, what is the first? Aptitude. What does it mean? It is a combination of characteristics that indicate an individual's capacity to acquire some specific knowledge or skill after training. Everyone has their own aptitude. Every child has an aptitude. And what are these? These are certain characteristics, or you can say combination of characteristics. But how can you develop these characteristics? After getting a proper training, right? After getting a proper training, you can develop, you can improve these characteristics or your potential, right? Now, what is important under this? You can explain the aptitude by giving the definition and an example also. Now, sometimes there could be a basic question of 1 mark that what is the basic difference between interest and aptitude. So turn page number 18. 1 mark question could be there. What is the basic difference between interest and aptitude? So all can see first column, second paragraph, interest in black and bold letter. Start reading it. Interest is a preference for a particular activity, whereas aptitude is what is the potentiality to perform that activity. Okay? Interest क्या है? Your preference. You have lots of option, you have lots of choices, और जो first आप इसको रख रहे हो, the priority you are giving to the first one, that clearly shows your interest. What is aptitude? Your potential, your capacity to perform certain activities. When we talk about mechanical aptitude, so that child is very much proficient, very much efficient to perform certain mechanical tasks as compared to you, because you do not have that mechanical aptitude, right? So you're going to give this difference, and also you can give the example also. A person may have the potentiality for performing a job, but may not be interested in doing that, right? And it can be the other way around. Both the cases, what is happening? The outcome will not be satisfactory. The person will not get satisfaction. Some kind of frustration will be there. So he is not happy also. A student with high mechanical aptitude and strong interest in engineering is more likely to be a successful mechanical engineer. Okay? A student which is having an aptitude for mechanical engineering and he is also have a very strong interest. So both things are there, aptitude and interest. The chances of satisfaction automatically increases in this case. Okay, so you can explain this interest and aptitude also with the help of an example. Now, another important thing, that aptitude tests are available in two forms: independent and multiple aptitude tests. Independent are what? These are specialized tests, and multiple means generalized tests. Now, what is the difference between independent? Suppose there is different kind of aptitude, right? But what happened in multiple tests? Generally, it is in the form of batteries. We have discussed about this term batteries in this chapter only, in the past model. ठीक है ना? तो batteries में क्या हो रहा है? अलग अलग aptitudes हैं, but they are homogeneous. They belong to the same topic, they belong to the same skill, but there are various kinds. और जब हम specialized की बात करते हैं, independent aptitude test की बात करते हैं, तो उसमें अलग अलग टेस्ट होते हैं और डिटेल में होते हैं. सपोज न्यूमेरिकल रीजनिंग की बात करेंगे तो न्यूमेरिकल रीजनिंग का एक इंडिविजुअल एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट है और वो सिर्फ न्यूमेरिकल रीजनिंग ही टेस्ट कर रहा है. whereas if we are going for a battery, तो that battery is including सपोज 8 एप्टीट्यूड्स, जैसा कि तुम लोगों के भी इस बार कोर्स में है एप्टीट्यूड टेस्टिंग, तो उसमें 8 टाइप ऑफ टेस्ट आर देयर, सो दैट इज अ बैटरी because it is containing lot of tests but still related to the homogeneous area. Fine, so this is a basic difference between independent and multiple aptitude tests. Try to remember one or two example of this. DAT is most commonly used in educational settings, so remember this DAT, differential aptitude test. It is not given the full form, but differential aptitude test is the full form. So this is important, underline. It is given, yes, it is given, differential aptitude test. And another one is GATB, that is general aptitude test battery. तो ये दो याद रख लो, बहुत हैं. Yes, ma'am, we can stop with the recording.